Okay, so let me see. We're back live again. Let's see. All right, sorry to make that so boring. I just want to make sure everything was set up correctly. So let me post that I'm starting to live stream. Lost my computer. Here's my computer.
Damn it, how could this have happened? Here's something important to remember about that.
Okay, so I had to run off and do a family thing, but I'm back now. Hey, where's my face? Oh, my face camera's not showing. Great. Oh, I'm not. This is the front. I apologize. I'm just learning this new system. There we go. There I am. Let me put my face up here as well. I'm getting to know this eCam software a little bit better. Okay, here we go. So I am back. I had a family thing to do, but now I am back being able to do it. I did hook up the Mac Pro to be able to stream it, but then I realized that there's a couple things. One is that you can't run it with the case off. One is that the power button is not really activated, and two, the case has this like lip on it, so even when you get it running, here, let me put it up here. So even when you get it running, you can't take the case, the lid off. Right? So you got this little lip here, but you can't take that lid off. So I've decided to put it back to my old setup, and showing Mac OS really running on it is not important. But I will, when I set it up, I'm going to SSH in or screen sharing in. That'd be a lot easier. So I'll go ahead and do that. One of the things I was kind of looking at, this was kind of interesting, is the one card. So it comes with this one card that, if you look on the side, that it has two USB-C or potentially Thunderbolt. No, it ran my monitor on it, so those are definitely Thunderbolt 3 ports. And then it looks like two USB A and then one audio. But the interesting thing is the way that the card. I looked at it. I'm like, this is kind of interesting. If you look at it, you can see that it doesn't have the normal kind of coloring. It has a coloring to match this. So I thought this was kind of interesting. Plus, it'll give us an idea how you remove these cards and how Apple designed it to be able to remove it. And so I looked at it. It was kind of neat because it has this lock here, and it says 2. And there's a little lock symbol on it. I thought, oh, there's got to be a 1. I noticed there's a 1 over here by the where the thumb screws are. And so I didn't grab a screwdriver. I just tried to do it with my fingers, and it was difficult to do, but I could do it with my fingers. So I loosened this one, and that was the number 1. I realized it still wouldn't come out, so I realized you had to do the second. And move this over. I had to move the second thumb screw off. So if I remove this second thumb screw, this item comes right off. You can see it's really nice because it's spring-loaded, and it stops in there, right? So you can see that you don't lose any parts. So that's a really nice touch. And then you have to unlock it here, and then this pops right out. So I thought, hey, this is kind of neat. If you look at the silkscreen on this, it's got the space gray coloring on it, which I thought was really kind of neat. Move this over a bit. And so I looked a little bit closer, and I thought, is there any Apple branding on it? And I looked on it, and I really couldn't find any Apple branding on this expansion card. But you can see there's the 2 Thunderbolt 3 and USB-C or USB-A. And then I looked closely, and the one chip, if you look really closely, I wonder if I can get it close enough to see. It's not really focusing in on here, but it does have I got my, it says Intel T803A900. So I'm gonna have to Google that and find out what that is, but I don't know if you can see that. It's very close, kind of hard to see, but anyways, it's Intel T803A900. So that's an interesting, it's the one main chip, and then it looks like it has a couple ancillary chips on there. So I'm going to have to look that one up and see what that one is. Oh, and then there's a couple of TI chips, CD3218B12. There's 2 of those. And then there's, looks like there's some connectors. Oh, it's interesting that you can see that the audio here has this little ribbon cable that goes in and connects in and then goes onto the board here. Well, there's a couple of chips on the back as well. Yeah, this one says TPS 51980A. I wonder if you have to file your TPS reports to get that one put on. There's a little joke there. You're welcome. So anyway, so that was really neat how you can be able to remove that. So let me put this back in. Just slides in. Okay, and then I will lock it and then put this thumb screws back on. Oh, you can see this little spacer came out. Oh, interesting. Check out the spacer. Has this in. It's got almost like a 2-color design, or maybe that's where it's unpainted. But it's definitely sheet metal. So let me take this back off and slide it back in. All right, so that's back in now. I'm curious about the how to get the graphics card out. It says 3 here. I guess I need to remove this. Oh, you can't see it. Move forward. You got to remove this. There's a screw here, and it says 4, so 3. Doesn't look like you can do that with your thumb or with just your fingers. But it does look like this has a nice lever to pull out when you do that. So I'm not going to bother with that right now. I did notice that it looks like there is a USB connector inside, though I'm not positive if this connector is a USB-A connector. So let me get a thumb drive or a cable and plug it in there and see if that's what that is. There you go. It's funny. It's very easy to find a USB-A connector forever, and then you want it for video and can't find it. So I found my charger for my Apple Watch. Let me just see. I'm curious if it. There it is. It fits in. So there's a USB-A connector on the inside, which is really kind of interesting. And one of the questions is will it boot off of that? So I'm very curious if I can actually put in a bootable thumb drive, or or USB-C-A, or and if that would be recognized as external booting. My guess is that it probably would. There's also a question of like, can you boot off of an external hard drive that you install yourself? So I'm going to try that in a bit. Actually, I have a bootable drive. I can plug it in and try.